Toasty is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Come on, Drake, get up there. Whoa. Oh my god.
Dude.
What's going on? Calm down.
So you know that a sequel that we've always been wanting? Internets have it confirmed. Battlefield Earth 2. So what do you think, man?
I knew this day would come. In memory of Barry Pepper's career.
But I ordered tickets.
Special guest time! Yay! Lauren!
My name is Lauren Fates. I write the Chicago Now blog, Geek Girl Chicago. And to find it, you can just go to chicagonow.com and search Geek. I'm also Geek Girl Chicago on Facebook and Twitter.
Movies that are well over 20 years old are being sequelized. I don't know why, what made them think, or the studios think that that was a good idea. You know, are these franchises still popular? Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
Alien's getting a new sequel. Flash Gordon's getting a sequel. Tron's getting another sequel. Spaceballs is talk of a sequel for that. Mallrats.
Yeah, which is just strange, but hey, I'll take it. I like Kevin Smith.
Okay, let's start with Alien 5. Okay?
Yeah.
I thought Alien Resurrection kind of killed it.
Yeah. They got a great director, though.
Yeah.
For this next one.
Well, I don't know. Did you see Chappie yet?
I think Alien would be a good genre for him to maybe get back on track.
Yeah.
Because I liked District
9.
District 9
Yeah,
was
that's
good.
pretty
I think
rad.
it had
Really
a
good.
good moral to it and like a poetic story.
And it came out of like the wreckage of the Halo movie that Blomkamp was going to make. And you could tell the weapons look exactly like
You could
Halo
see-
weapons.
You could see the warthogs.
Yeah, everything. All of it's in there. Everything, which is kind of awesome that he just basically took what was
alright,
left over from
we've got
pre-production of
this.
that and was like, yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
put it in here, repaint it. But you know how Alien 5 like came about?
No.
Because Sigourney Weaver's in Chappie. I guess he like sat down at lunch with her and was like, oh, what if there was a talk of an Alien 5, would you be into it? And she was like, well, if the story's right or whatever, you know.
Well, she
yeah,
just
I'd do
did
it.
the video game, didn't she? So
Yeah,
she's
she did.
still,
There's the downloadable content that was like the missions from the first movie. I remember that.
So she's still a part of that
Yeah, they got
franchise in a
everyone
pretty
to come
big
back
way.
for that. Yeah. I guess he went and started doing some like sketches of like concept art, and one was like Ripley wearing the engineer helmet, and one was her and Hicks running through like a hallway with rifles, and his face is like all frizzle fried from Aliens, and it got on the web, and Fox saw it and was like, yes, let's do that.
Let's talk money.
But at the same time, I was talking about this with a friend lately, and I think that's the situation that Blomkamp got that part is kind of the same as the way Zack Snyder got Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Was like he was making Sucker Punch, and everyone thought it looked really, really cool, and then it ends up being and he knew it was going to be kind of like a dud, so he went and tried to get the most high-profile job he possibly could as a follow-up, just to secure his future as a director,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked because now he's doing all of DC stuff. And I think that because of all the trouble making Chappie, because the stars were real divas and acting like a-holes and all that kind of stuff, he tried to secure himself another real high-profile job just to make sure he still works after Chappie.
Right.
So I hope it works.
Yeah.
Well, it does sort of beg the question that most of these titles stir up, which is, when do you stop a story and let it be just a good story, and when do you just keep milking it and keep making more content and keep continuing that canon? Because my big worry for reboots like this is they're going to keep making stuff until it's terrible.
Yeah.
And the first two Alien films are so perfect and so scary. I don't need more Alien. I can just watch the Alien that I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we need to continue the story. And it just sort of reeks of profit seeking, which is fine. That's business. That's Hollywood. But as a fan, do you guys want to hear those stories?
I mean, I like the universe they take place in. I really liked Prometheus.
Yeah.
You know, even though it kind of went off in a weird direction, but I really like that. And I kind of like Alien 3 also. I just kind of like the finale of it. But then they had to ruin it with Resurrection and just...
That's exactly it. They keep it. If you're gonna write that it's over, leave it be over.
Yeah, you
if
killed
want
her. The story is over. She saved the universe. Done.
Yeah.
And then let's just clone her and have random stuff happen again. Yeah. And have it be a remake of like all 3 movies at once, basically at the same time. I was like, no.
And that's the thing I really enjoy about British television, and like what they do is they set it up to end and they end it. You know, The Office was only set up to do two seasons, and they ended it.
And then how many American seasons were there?
Exactly.
Like 12?
So like they write things and they're like, all right, like Sherlock, I'm sure has already been written to be done.
Yeah, but the direction
And
they're
they
going
just
with that now is going to be kind of weird because now it's going to take place in the past.
Right. But I'm saying,
makes-
like, I think they have it already rewritten out to where it's going to end.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to...
Although I haven't seen the newest season yet, so I really can't
It
comment.
was okay. It definitely wasn't the best season.
The new Sherlock to me was a lot more fan servicey than the first season. It was like they started hearing about the fans wanting Sherlock and Watson to be sort of kissy,
Yeah.
and so they started writing in these more like cutesy moments, and they started catering, I think, to the people who were in the fan community.
So I kind of lost the edge
Yeah.
it had. They're going to make another X-Files show, like a miniseries, I guess?
There's talk of it. I'm not even sure. I mean, I read an article about it yesterday. I'm not even sure they've fully decided what it's going to be. But they are saying with more and more certainty, X-Files is coming back on Fox. And, like, with the original Mulder and Scully, with David Duchovny, with
Wouldn't be
Gillian
X-Files
Anderson.
without it, which is kind of why I stopped watching it in those later seasons.
Yeah, when it was Reyes and Doggett, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So you better bring him back.
Yeah, damn Skippy. I think, from what I hear, Duchovny and Anderson really want to do it because, honestly, they don't really have much left to do. You know,
yeah.
She just did-
Californication, I think, is ending.
Yeah, but she just did that show that's on Netflix. God, what was it?
Oh, yeah, I have that on my queue now. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, it's kind of like a crime.
It's a crime drama, and she's described as like an ice queen crime solver, and it's exactly what she should be doing based on her role as Scully. And she's still a babe. I mean, I know that's what the movie industry does for women. They have to stay flawless and beautiful, so you get makeup and photoshopped, but I don't feel like David Duchovny is aging that well, and... You know, Gillian Anderson, I don't know. Just came out with this new show, and she looks gorgeous.
Yeah, she looks exactly the same as when the show ended originally.
But that's another thing about reboots that sort of bugs me. If you're going to use the original cast, you have to write in why they got older. I'm assuming at least one of you is a Firefly fan. I love Firefly. It's one of the greatest things that's ever been made in science fiction. But I don't ever want to see it come back because at this point they're so much older. You'd have to contrive a story for why.
Like, would these people really stick together as long as they have?
Yeah. Would they
know?
really have been together for a decade? Like, I don't think so.
Same with like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It was like, really, Uhura stayed in that exact same position for 35 years? No.
And, I mean, certain characters died at the end, and you'd have to decide, do we bring them back? Do we retcon it? Just leave it in the past. Leave it be what it was.
I thought Serenity was a really good ending.
Yeah.
It was just like, just leave it there, let it on, done.
Serenity was a lot of, particularly with the Reaver plotline, a lot of what they wanted to do with the series that they didn't get to do.
Yeah, from what I heard, Whedon said that was like basically the second season of the show all wrapped up in 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah, I love Firefly, but I don't
I'll just
care
stick
to
to
see
the online game that's coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy. It sucks that I got canceled, or whatever, but I think they did a really good job of finishing it.
Yeah, and you guys are
giving the
right.
fans the finish.
It lives on in other media. There's the comic books, and I don't know if you've been to like a Barnes and Noble type of store lately, but there's Firefly Monopoly, there's Firefly Yahtzee. Like, it's still all over the place.
We had an episode where we played this Firefly board game.
Yeah, we have that at home. I mean, you could still live in that world if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely pop culture. Like, it's definitely got to grasp, and I think it'll always be there.
Yeah,
but,
with or without a reboot,
Yeah.
as we're talking about.
Yeah, they don't need to keep going with it. I just leave it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And Whedon's moved on to the Marvel universe. He's good now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
He's not worried
He's
about
killing it over
his
there. Just
paycheck.
let it. Yeah, he's
not worried about
rolling
work.
in it. And now Bruce Campbell's talking about making an Evil Dead TV show, which is serving as, I guess, Army of Darkness 2, I guess they're calling it.
Yeah.
So
With Sam Raimi funding, producing, and saying
but
that
we know
it's
what
cool.
happens when he produces TV shows. They are called Hercules and Xena. And Cleopatra 2525.
Oh, yeah.
Well, those didn't have Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did.
Well, those didn't have.
Ash.
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that could be kind of cool. I think it's going to be on Stars.
Do we know how, like, serious and scary versus campy and funny they've
It sounds
done
like it might be a
be?
mix of both.
Because that was really iconic of the Evil Dead franchise, was scary but also kind of funny, darkly funny. And you could tell plenty of just zombie stories and kind of put the Evil Dead flavor into it. I think they could get a lot of mileage out of it. Did either of you see Evil Dead the musical?
I have the soundtrack.
I went to see it, let's see now.
I was going to see it when it came back a couple years ago, but it didn't happen.
7 years ago, heavens, I went and saw it in Canada.
Oh, wow.
When it was only in Toronto.
Really?
And it had the time of my life.
Yeah.
But I'm just...
Did you have to wear like a
Parka?
We
parka? Yeah.
we were in the splash zone, and you could wear a parka if you wanted. But what we chose to do was we made our own T-shirts, and then we wanted to get them bloody.
Nice.
So my T-shirt, unfortunately, at the very end, it rains blood. Like the very end, they shoot the boomstick, everyone poses, and it rains blood, and like that's the finale. And I instinctively went like this. So the whole back of my T-shirt just looks like I've been stabbed
You're in a Friday
in the
13th
back,
movie.
and then like the front just looks clean and normal, and so it's a problem. It didn't go exactly
Tie-dye
like it
going
should
on.
have. Yeah.
One color, one side. Yeah,
It's bizarre. There's puppetry. There's like the campiest special effects. You could have dumb songs. It's just a weird time.
Yeah.
It's
I've
a
heard the
weird
soundtrack.
time.
It's odd.
I think that was one of the things that's great about Series 2 is that it's impressive that what was done with the amount of money that they
They
had,
had
and
no
like
money
a
with
lot
the
of
first
just
one.
clever, like guys sitting around like, all right, like the whole holding a camera out on a stick in a canoe to run across water, just like stuff like that. And then you watch the shot, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And it was basically they probably just sitting around having a couple of beers like at the cabin at night. And was like, all right, so tomorrow they're going over shots like, how are we gonna do this? It's like,
I can get a broomstick and some
and
duct
it's
tape, and there you go.
Yeah, and you just think about like we always say that the hardest thing about making a movie is just doing it. Like writing it, yeah, that's hard. Setting it up, that's hard. But like, you see a movie that's not very good, you get a 1 star on Netflix. It costs $800 to do, but they still did it. They still put it together, put the
Thanksgiving.
time into it, and
With-
that's the hardest thing.
So with Evil Dead specifically, one of the questions I would have then in that regard is how much would be practical effects and how much would they go to CG,
Right.
with the bigger budget.
I hope
Because
they'd stick to the practical.
yeah, well that's some of the stuff in the original Alien that's, practical is the scariest part of it.
You see
'cause
them
it looks
reacting
so
to
real.
it. Yeah, they're reacting to it instead of going like, "Oh, I think it's supposed to look scary," and
Yeah.
you can kind of tell they're kind of like, "Oh, it's not there. I'm looking at a mark on a wall."
And that's what I'm wondering about. Actually, the Jurassic World. Jurassic World, I'm looking forward to because I've always wanted to see a Jurassic Park that is fully functional. If someone had that dream fulfilled to the point where people were going and it was working, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see those exhibits, but some of that CG just looks fake, very fake, and it's not loses the horror for me.
Yeah.
It loses that originality. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll do like parts of dinosaurs that are real, that are practical, and then the rest of it's going to be filled in. But like it's the same thing with the new Star Wars movie. What's his name? J.J. Abrams actually tried to make it as real as possible. It's little CGI as he had to.
Broke Harrison Ford's leg.
Yeah, broke Harrison Ford's leg because that was a real set he was on. Yeah. But like they built real X-wings, they built a real full scale
what it
Millennium
should be.
Falcon and all that, and that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, when you're given $500 million.
Yeah, when you're given basically an unlimited, here's a blank check, make a movie.
You're doing one of the greatest franchises and most popular franchise in the world. Here's a bunch of money, do it right. You
right,
know,
and when you watch that trailer, I don't know if the film's going to be good.
Right.
I hope it is, but there are moments in the trailer where there's, the big clunky, like,
R2D2.
rectangular speeder.
Oh, yeah.
And just it's great. There are things that look almost retro and sort of impractical, but, like, visually, I feel like it knows what was cool about the series. It knows that, like, dusty, gritty, like, Tatooine feel is, like, back in this movie, and that's exciting to me. And apparently, that little droid, that ball droid, Mark Hamill claims it's real.
That's a real thing moving around. That was not
Mark
CGI?
Hamill said that is an actual practical effect, and he was driving it around. I don't know if Mark Hamill would lie to us in that way. I guess we'll wait and see.
He pulled the Jedi mind trick on everybody.
He said it is real.
He is the Joker, though.
Yeah.
So
the best Joker.
manipulative.
I don't know. That looked like it was CGI. In the
I know, it looked fake, and he says it's real. So it's a weird thing to be excited about. But I'm excited about
but
that.
It's still kind of
I just wonder if R2D2 and C-3PO are actually going to be in this one or not. That's kind of like a big part of the other movies. You'd think that they'd carry them over too.
Yeah.
Especially if they're bringing back pretty much the entire cast from the original movies.
I imagine. They haven't really shown any classic characters in the trailer, even though we all know they're going to be there.
Yeah, that surprised me. At least show like Luke or something or Han. Everybody loves Han.
They're going to wait. They're going to wait. And you're going to probably see a few more trailers, and then, like, out of nowhere, right, out of the blue, at the end of one trailer, you're going to see, like, a hood come up, and it'll be Luke or
It's all
something.
shaggy Luke.
And the world's just going to go crazy.
Yep.
But that's going to be months from now.
Yeah.
We're doomed.